Hey guys, this is Jonathan from Fitness for Freedom. Today we are going to show you how to get stronger. The first step to getting stronger is having good muscle activation as you're doing your exercises. So that means the muscle fibers are contracting as you use them. Now the first step to doing this is using proper form as you exercise. So if we go to the push-up, for example, in order to do a push-up properly, I need to have my shoulders out over my hands, and I need to come down like this with my chest out, and I need to come straight up like this. So by staying straight like this, my core is nice and tight, which is going to stabilize my spine, and my arms and chest are going to be contracting because I have my body in the right position. Okay, and by having my body in the right position, it makes it easier for me to use those muscles because if I'm doing the muscle or doing a push-up incorrectly, what that might mean is I'm going down, my hips might be sagging lower, which is going to put a lot of strain on the ligaments in my lower back. And also, if I come up, I might shrug up like this, which is going to put the strain on my trap muscle up here, okay? And those are things that we don't want to happen as we're doing an exercise. So by staying in the proper form, it makes it a lot easier to use the proper muscles that we're trying to activate for the exercise. Now, the other component that we need to look at is the quality of the contraction. So once we've got our form nailed down, then it's really important that you think about the contraction as you're actually doing it. So that means if we're going down like this, okay, in a slow and controlled way, we have to use our muscles to stay in this position. And if we focus on squeezing our chest together and pushing through under our armpits and contracting our triceps at the same time as we do this exercise, that's going to really increase the quality of the contraction, which is going to stimulate your muscles to change and grow even more. Once you're confident that you can activate your muscles well and that you're good at keeping your form throughout the motion, then you can start creating overload in the muscle. And overload is what really stimulates the muscle to change. So what's happening is when you overload it, you fatigue it, which means you're breaking your muscle fibers down, and then they have to heal back stronger than they were before. Okay? Now this is done in a couple of ways. It can be done through repetitions, and it can be done through increasing the weight or the resistance that you're lifting. So for example, if we're doing kneeling push-ups here and we're doing five kneeling push-ups with our good muscle contraction, okay, what's going to happen is that maybe we get there and then all of a sudden we're too tired and now we've taken the muscle to total fatigue, okay, which is going to stimulate it to grow and change. But now that it's grown and changed, that means the next time we go to do the push-ups that we could probably do 7 from our knees, which is okay and it works. But once you get to 15 repetitions, then we're getting into more muscle endurance instead of muscle strength. So we need to start increasing the resistance that we're lifting. So if we're doing a kneeling push-up, then that means we need to go from our feet. So now we've gone from 40% to about 70% of our body weight, okay? And then once we get to 15 repetitions there, then we'll want to increase the resistance by elevating our feet on something or lifting more weight, whatever it is. Now, it doesn't always have to be 15 repetitions. It could be 2 repetitions, it could be 8, it could be 12. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're taking your muscles to failure most of the time. And once you get above 15, like I said, you're into more muscle endurance, and that's why that's sort of the top end or the maximum amount that we're going to lift when we're trying to make our muscles stronger. When most people are doing their strength training programs, they often stay in the same rep range and lift in a very similar fashion. So that means if they're doing a lot of push-ups, maybe they'll do somewhere between 8 and 12 push-ups all of the time. Okay, and they'll take the same amount of break in between each set, and they'll do the same number of sets all the time. Okay, but this is it's a good way to get strong at first, but eventually you're going to plateau and not be able to get stronger. And this is where variation can come in and is a very effective way at helping you improve your strength. So by variation, I mean changing what you're doing right now. And of course, this is relative to everyone, but here are some common ways that I think are the best for most people to work with. And the first is lifting explosively, so changing the tempo of the lift. Okay, so most people, if they're doing their lift, they'll lift sort of in this sort of controlled speed the whole time, which is fine, and it's great for learning the movement pattern and making the initial adaptations. But eventually, you're going to stop adapting, and forcing your muscle to contract very quickly can help stimulate it to more efficiently fire. So what I mean by that is if we're going down slow and then exploding up with the lift. So what I'm doing there is I'm forcing the muscle to contract much more quickly than it's used to, which is going to force it to adapt and change and get used to firing more quickly, which is going to help you become stronger. Okay. Another way to do it is to actually do a lot of eccentric lifting. Okay, so that means focusing on the eccentric, so the down portion of most lifts, and then coming up at a regular speed. Okay, and by doing this and by using the variation in the tempo, that can really allow your body to adapt and change. Okay, if you are someone who takes 2.5 minute breaks all the time, try taking a 1.5 minute break instead. If you take 1.5 minute breaks, try 2.5 or 3 minute breaks. If you take 1 or 2 days off between muscle groups, take a couple more days off, or don't take any days off and do the same muscle group 2 days in a row. And once you've done those, then take a longer chunk of time off. And use trial and error to figure it out. So by creating these, all this variation in your program and using trial and error, you'll be able to figure out sort of how your body responds, and you'll be able to push it in ways that you didn't realize that you could push it, and you'll be able to get stronger than you ever thought you could. Having a workout buddy makes you stronger in a few different ways, starting with just showing up. Having someone that you're accountable to, that you have to show up for, and then having someone that you're competing against as you're lifting your weights will help you try just a little bit harder to lift a little bit more weight, which will help you be just a little bit stronger. Now, once you're in on the session, they also help you by taking your muscles right to failure in a very safe way. So if I'm in a position like this and I'm by myself, then I might not push myself all the way. But knowing that I have a workout buddy right here behind me, that means they're going to help me when I'm struggling on that last couple of reps or the last few reps to try to get it up, to have it up all the way, okay? So that means I get a little bit more out of my workouts and I get to be a little bit stronger, and then after I'm done, I get to give them a gratuitous high five because we did a great job. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we deliver content just like it every week. If you have any comments or questions about getting stronger, please leave them in the box below. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time.